Conservatives have been forced to hear one news account after another talking about the Republican Party's collapse. Gallup and the Wall Street Journal recently released polls that showed the GOP suffering through its lowest approval ratings ever. Now, these low numbers, they're temporary. But the bigger challenge is how we as a party move forward to victory in 2016 and beyond. Now, the prospects, they don't look bright. Our party has lost 5 out of the last 6 presidential elections in the popular vote. Young voters and educated Americans are moving away from our party at record levels. And the fastest growing demographic groups in America are breaking to the Democrats by the millions. With the Republican Party seemingly on a glide path to demographic irrelevance as a presidential force, this may seem difficult to remember, but we used to be the ones to beat. From 1968 to 2008, Republicans only lost when Democrats took care to sound more conservative than liberal. Between Richard Nixon and Barack Obama, the only Democrats to win the White House were Southern Baptists who sought the position by calling themselves New Democrats. For that 40-year time period, the GOP was the mainstream of American politics. But as we conservatives endure 2 terms of Barack Obama and face the very real possibility of 8 more years with Clinton in the White House, all too often, these days, we're the ones who sound angry, extreme, and out of touch. Now, that may seem hard to hear. It's certainly hard for me to say, but the numbers just don't lie. If the Republican Party wants to regain its place as the decisive force in national politics, we need to grow our base. We need to re-engage with our real legacy. And we have to realize that principled conservatism is a must. But it's got to be combined with clear-eyed pragmatism, like Ike and Reagan practiced. Because things may look bad now, but the good news is that our party is at its best when the odds are longest. The question for all of us to consider now is how the Republican Party gets back in the White House in 2016. 16 years of Democratic rule, of Supreme Court appointments, and control of the executive branch, that's going to impact the balance of power in America for the next half-century. It's time for conservatives of all stripes to come together and unify. You know, I'd really appreciate it if you would tell me how you think the Republican Party reunites with our proud heritage, how we connect with middle-class voters, and how we win back the White House for a generation to come. And you can do that by emailing me at joe@rightpath.tv. Let's start that conversation today. Too much is at stake.